Yeah, I like the Chargers in here, so I have to go the other way here, Jack, because I think that this is a team that even though the Chargers had their 18-game straight-up home winning streak in the month of December, snapped last week by the Raiders, who were swept the season series from the Chargers, I think the Bolts come back here, and I think Kansas City gets their collective hats handed to them in this one. And the other game you wanted to touch on?
Dallas-Philadelphia is what he asked about.
Yeah,
that's a great game.
It's a great game, but it's a tough spread at 3.5 points. I mean, the Eagles, I'm kind of surprised that the Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite, considering a 3.5-point favorite 2 weeks ago at Chicago. They lost outright and were outplayed totally. And Dallas has played so well since Jason Garrett took over, coming up with the overtime upset last week of Indianapolis, a game in which they were up by 17 points. They gave up the lead, 28-27 in the fourth, came right down, marched down, took the score again.
Kitten is looking like Roger Staubach. What's going on there?
But the ground game has really produced. And listen, with this Philadelphia team, their defense is not that good. I mean, the offense is dynamic with Michael Vick, but defensively, neither one of these teams are that good. But the Eagles have really struggled and almost cost them last week when they were up 20-10 on Thursday night against Houston. And then suddenly the Texans, two scoring drives in the third quarter, they took the lead. The Eagles had to come back.
As the Sunday night game, I mean, I'd hate to be stuck a few units with that as the bailout game, keeping me from paying my bookmaker.
It's a tough game. I can't wait to watch this game. I think I'd lean a little toward the Eagles, and I would buy down the 0.5 point only because I do think they have one advantage. They have an extra amount of rest since they played on Thursday. After playing 4 games in 18 days, they've had the extra 3 days rest.
Use it. Sante Samuel, we'll see if he's back.
He's back
today.
He'll be back.
We won't be at full strength, but he'll be back. He's great. You're probably right. The Eagles probably win and cover this game, and the real reason that that's going to happen is because I love the Cowboys in this game. I'm never right when it comes to the Cowboys. They're the only team that whether I bet on them or against them, I lose. I've got no clue when it comes to Dallas. I do know Jack from Dallas now, but that's about it.
Okay, Jack, thanks for giving us a buzz. Hey, a game I want to talk about, and we touched on it just briefly earlier. It's not a good game. It's Denver and Arizona, but you've got the coaching change, of course, right. Josh McDaniel.
This is the new trend in the NFL, right?
I mean, and this is something I've talked about in previous shows. Right now, between Leslie Frazier in Minnesota and Jason Garrett down in Dallas, those teams are a combined 5-1 straight up, 6-0 against the spread since their coaching changes. And I had mentioned before that, for my years as a reporter, every time I saw a managerial change or a coaching change, you walk in the locker room, all the guys that were in the doghouse, they're out of the doghouse. Right. And it's like a breath of fresh air just comes in and sweeps through the locker room when coaching changes are made. So I'm not surprised either one of these teams have suddenly turned around. I think what Denver has going for it today is they have some talent. Arizona has no talent.
Arizona's like online for permanent disability. I mean, they're done. They stick a fork in them. They are done. They should sue Dancing for the Stars for every penny that show makes. I mean, Denver, they don't really need their coach. All they really need is their quarterback. He'll light it up against this Arizona team, and they'll never be able to catch up.
Well, and listen, the Arizona quarterbacks last week, they played Derek Anderson. They played Max Hall. Max Hall then suffered a shoulder injury. He's gone for the season. They turned to the Ivy League guy, Skelton, John Skelton, I think is his name. It didn't really matter because the quarterbacks combined went 11 for 29, 148 yards, and a 19-6 home loss to St. Louis, and that was coming off a game on against San Francisco on Monday night where they were equally pathetic offensively. Yep. They can't stop anybody defensively. They're giving up almost 29 points a game. I think Kyle Orton last week, he really struggled at Kansas City, had his worst game of the year. But this guy has thrown for over 3,500 yards this year. I think he lights them up. I think Noshan Marino, who's played very good ball here the last 4 weeks, I think he's going to have plenty of running room. And I think, again, the new coaching thing, I would put my money on that stat, that it's 6-0 so far against the spread. I think 7-0 in this one.
I agree. Maybe the Jets should have fired their coach before they played New England. And then hired him back, but just for that game, just to go with the trend.
Hey, before we go back to the phones and take up with Phil, who wants to talk about a couple of games here, reminder, picknation.com. We've got a free one-day all-access pass, and when we say free, we actually mean it. There are no salesmen. There's no hassles. There's no strings attached. There's no recorded messages to call. We don't have a phone number. It's picknation.com for a reason. You get all the handicappers at our site, 13 of them, for free today simply by going and checking out the All Access Pass.
Right, and unlike what we do on the show where we just give our opinion on every single game, with the All Access Pass, you're actually getting the best bets from every top handicapper in the country, which are all on Pick Nation. Those are the games that we sell on our site, unlike the ones we talk about here on the show. And it's like a $500 value, and there's no reason not to take advantage of it. You get all the plays, all the analysis. We pull the curtain back. You see what we got going, and you decide for yourself if we're the type of company that can help you going forward in the season.
And remember, the day after, tomorrow, Monday, you'll see whether we won or lost on every single handicapper's page. But just to give you an idea of the value of this, if you had come to the site last Monday, let's say, for example, you had a $100 play from your number one NFL crew, the Baltimore crew.
Correct.
I think it was a $99 play if you had bought it separately. I had my biggest play of the year. We were both happened to be on the Patriots that night. Surprisingly, how many handicappers at the site, and they're all in battle with each other. Most of them don't like each other. They don't talk to each other.
Everybody wants to say they're the hottest handicapper at the site.
Let me tell you something. Handicappers, we know, running the company, handicappers, egocentric, very big inflated
And if
egos.
they're out there listening, I am the hottest handicapper at this site, just to set that straight.
But my play cost $69. I mean, you could have gotten our plays plus the plays of 12 other handicappers on Monday for free by taking advantage of the one-day free all-access pass, and you would have won a fortune since we had some of the biggest plays on the Patriots that night.
Even if you've already taken advantage of the all-access pass, to come in and buy the all-access pass is also a tremendous value, not just because you get everybody's plays for free, for one low price, and you get all the analysis, but you as a handicapper get to match your opinion against the best in the business, see which jives, and a lot of times that's the way that customers choose which game to bet on.
Right, and that's one of the reasons we created the All Access Pass, because I think a lot of guys out there, you gamblers out there, you have a solid opinion on certain games, but you want some positive reinforcement on particular games. So you look at the consensus and the All Access Pass, and you see 13 guys, and then you go, well, geez, I like the Packers today, and these four guys who have won or been winning, three of those four guys, they like the Packers too. That's what you're looking for. Or sometimes you just want to be put off on a game. And you're not so
something
sure.
that you didn't realize was going on, and you read it in the analysis and go, oh, I didn't think of it that way. That makes a lot of sense. Let me stay away from that game today.
Right, and there are no guarantees in gambling. I mean, look it up in the dictionary, guys. Guarantee and gambling are not on the same page. But I think that this gives you a way to use professional opinions, judge them against your own, because I don't think anybody out there, the smart gamblers, are not just the guys coming in the rubes going, oh, let me see what he has, and then unquestioned, I'm just going to go bet my house on it. That's not how it works. No. Everybody, you guys have an opinion. You want to know what we do 365 days a year if our opinion matches yours. Great way to check it out for free at picknation.com. Back to the phones. We head now to Phil. Where are you calling from, Phil?
Yeah, how you doing?
Fill up my pockets with cash.
Just curious if you guys think that the Chicago Bears defense can do what the Jets could not do this past week against New England. Should be a good matchup. I know the Bears were able to handle Philadelphia, but what are your thoughts on this week's game?
Well, the Jets put no pressure on anyone. They simply can't get to the quarterback. And when you can't get to Tom Brady, he's going to light you up. The only way the Jets can get to Tom Brady is when they blitz the whole team. When you blitz the whole team against Tom Brady, you get lit up. I think Chicago has a big advantage when you're comparing them to the Jets on defense, especially in the front line area. I also think you're coming in to a situation where Cutler's on a roll. He's going to play real good. We've talked about this game ad nauseum, but I think that Chicago in the first half, plus 1.5, takes advantage of the sluggish start from New England coming off their biggest, most emotional game of the season. I do think New England winds up pulling this game out in the end, but I like Chicago here, plus 1.5 in the first half.
Right, and if I had to play it, I would, because of the Chicago defense, because of the fact that the Patriots are playing on a short week of rest and on the road, and after that big emotional win in revenge against the Jets, I think this is a prime situation for them to have a letdown, and I like the Bears who beat Philadelphia, as you pointed out, outright as a 3.5-point home dog 2 Sundays ago. I think they're a great play here, but I would definitely buy up the half point, buy the insurance on Chicago, make them a 3.5-point favorite. So, God forbid, if the Patriots win by 3, we still walk away with the cover. Not a game I put my own money on, but certainly one that I like. Steve, a couple games that we haven't gotten
We can get one more caller about that game. I can do it really good next time. I mean, it's like my 4th time. I'm getting really good at it.
And that is a problem. That is a problem, and I've said this a zillion times. Even with this show, you see,